what are your impressions after this performance in the second stage?
Well, I'm quite relieved, I have to be honest. I think just after the performance, there's so much adrenaline, and now I just feel finally settled, like I've released something, and I think, this music in the program I played is some of my most favorite music, and I don't know, it felt good on stage, but I wonder how it sounded from the outside. It's probably not the same as how I felt on the stage, but I really do love this music, and I hope people really enjoyed my performance.
And one of the pieces which is one of the closest to your heart is probably Chausson's poem.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about this piece?
Sure. Well, one of the reasons why I decided to program the Chausson poem is because it was dedicated to the Belgian violinist Eugene Ysaye'a, who studied with Wieniawski, and I thought that was a very nice tribute because from what I've read, it seems like Ysaye'a really credited much of his violin playing development to Wieniawski. And in terms of the Chausson poem, I could go on and on. My whole dissertation project is on this. But unbeknownst to most people, there are 5 versions of this piece. And the version I played is actually Ysaye'a's edition. And what's very touching is that when you read the letters between Chausson and Ysaye'a, they don't know who the composer really is. I mean, of course, Chausson is the one who wrote it. But in the letters, Chausson writes my-your poem to Ysaye'a. And when Chausson passed away in 1899, the London premiere was given by Ysaye'a, and he wrote the most touching letter to Chausson's children about how everyone listened with this religious reverence and how there was not a single dry eye in the house. Fast forward to 25 years after that, Ysaye'a made a series of arrangements for violin, piano, and organ, which is very unusual. And so in his, on the cover page of the poem arrangement, he writes Chausson's poem, which I find very touching. And so, just to see this kind of camaraderie, this deep friendship, and that kind of artistic cooperation, collaboration, and making this piece alive is just so inspiring for me. So I wanted to bring it here.
Mm-hmm. And what did you feel during performing one of your favorite pieces, so well, during the competition, because it is a different situation than the concert or recital?
Well, I was trying to center myself for sure. And actually, I was trying to keep close some of the words one of my teachers said to me, Donald Weilerstein. He wrote me an email a couple of days ago, and he said, just remember to be inspired by the music you play and to become one with the music and share it with the listeners and to speak it in that way. And so I really tried to do that. And, I know competition is a very stressful situation. And I have to admit, competition atmosphere is not necessarily my... I don't work best in this kind of atmosphere, but I do feel, especially with the audience here in Poznan, that it's just like any other concert, and I try to give all of my energies towards that.
So far, so good. And now, Mozart.
Yes, Mozart is next.
What can you say about his Sinfonia Concertante?
I think it is a gem that is not performed often enough. And one of the things I love about this piece is just the chamber music aspect of it, even though it is a kind of, a piece for 2 featured soloists with orchestra, but there is still this kind of chamber music camaraderie, and I hope to tap into that this weekend.